Hi, I'm Annie Lisa, and welcome to this exciting episode of Creating Spaces. This is a show where we help you discover additional living space in your home. Your home is probably the single biggest investment you'll make in your life. So finding ways to create added value to your home pays dividends. Two of the most common ways of doing this are either to add space with an addition, which is costly and disruptive, or to remodel and improve the existing space. But what if you could add significant living space and save a lot of money in the process? It turns out one of the most overlooked areas of your home can be one of the most valuable. Today, we're going to look at some of the creative ways you can turn your basement from an ugly, damp, unusable cellar to your favorite room in the house. And with us is Larry Janeski, whose company is focused solely on fixing and finishing basements. Larry is the author of 3 books on the subject and has 25 patents on products designed to help homeowners get more out of their basements. Larry, thanks for coming.
Oh, it's great to be here.
So Larry, why is finishing your basement a good investment as opposed to, say, putting on an addition?
Well, when most people think of adding space to their home, the first thing they think of is an addition, and they completely overlook the basement. But what they don't realize is that they paid for the basement as part of their home, and by neglecting it, they're wasting a valuable part of their investment. And not only that, but it actually costs a lot less money to finish your basement than it would to add an addition.
But aren't there potential problems? I mean, aren't most basements damp and dark and musty?
Well, yes, they can be, but it depends how you go about finishing your basement. You see, since basements are essentially underground and surrounded by dirt, which is always damp, the basement itself is much more likely to be damp and the air down there filled with moisture. There's also the likelihood of a plumbing leak or a surprise leak due to a heavy rain. So the problem comes in when you try to finish your basement with the same building materials you would use upstairs. You see, with so much moisture in the air, any organic materials like wood framing and drywall are going to soak up that moisture, and this is what causes mold to grow, which in turn triggers asthma and allergies, and no one in the family wants to spend time down there.
So typical building materials are not what we want in our basement. So what do we want?
Well, our company, Total Basement Finishing, has developed a system that is completely mold and moisture resistant. We don't use any organic materials at all in our system, making your finished basement a healthy living environment.
Wow, Larry, it sounds like you've come up with a system that is designed with a basement in mind, with all the challenges of a basement. So let's say someone wants to refinish their basement and they give you a call. What might a customer experience? Take us through the process a little bit.
Okay, well, the first thing we do is come out and meet with the homeowners and figure out exactly what they're looking for. Do they want a family room, a home theater, a playroom for the kids? How big of a room or rooms do they want? Then together with the homeowners, we'll design the space, or create the space, you might say. And the homeowner is fully involved in the process. They pick out the flooring they want, they pick out the lighting, the ceiling, the style and color of the trims, whether they want a closet or storage area or maybe even a bathroom. It's actually a fun process for the homeowner because they all get to make decisions and really take part in designing the room that they've always wanted.
Sounds like fun. And so how long does installation take?
Well, believe it or not, it only takes about a week or 2 for most homes. We have the installation down pat, and it's such a great system that everything comes together really quick.
And then once you're done?
Well, people can't believe it's the same room. It's funny, most people don't realize that their basement, once finished, is many times the biggest room in their house. And there's really so much you can do with it that it actually becomes something you're proud of and can't wait to show off to your friends and family.
Wow, Larry, it sounds like you have the perfect system. Thanks for spending time with us. Why don't you stick around in case we have a few more questions?
Sure, I'd love to.
Now, don't go anywhere because when we come back, we're going to meet 2 actual customers of Larry's who turned their basement from a place they wouldn't step foot into their favorite room in the house. And later, Larry will give us some tips on what to look for when choosing a contractor to finish your basement. We'll be right back.
We just love it. When we first walked downstairs, we just couldn't believe the difference. It was like night and day.
Do you need more space in your home? Total Basement Finishing can create a beautiful new space in your basement in less than 2 weeks. Make a new family room, playroom, home office, home theater, home gym, in-law apartment, or whatever you need.
The TBF system is really great. I mean, the walls are so solid. We can throw the ball around while we're watching the game, and we don't have to be as careful as we are upstairs.
Increase the living space in your home and enjoy your basement like you never thought possible. Free estimates and easy payment plans make your dream room a phone call away. And Total Basement Finishing System uses all moisture and mold-resistant materials, so it will look good in your basement for ages.
What I love about TBF is knowing that we would never have mold on it.
Well, if they got wet, they wouldn't get ruined. That was appealing to me. You know, if it ever got wet, it's just easy to clean, it dries out, and I don't have to worry about it.
Call for your free estimate today. 1-800-81-MY-ROOM. Total Basement Finishing. 1-800-81-MY-ROOM. Call today.
Welcome back to Creating Spaces. When Mark and Liz Dalmagala moved into their home, it was perfect for their family. But as their kids started getting older and a family member moved in, they realized they were running out of space. So they turned to Total Basement Finishing.
With the kids growing up and all their toys and games everywhere, we were really running out of space. And at first, we didn't think the basement would be a possibility.
In our old home, we had finished our basement with standard wood studs and drywall, and everything was fine at first. Well, we developed a plumbing leak in the ceiling, and the ceiling fell down onto our new carpet, and from there, the walls sucked up the water, and that's when Liz noticed the odor in the basement.
I have really bad allergies, and as soon as I walked down the basement, I can tell there was mold down there. I'm allergic to mold, the children are allergic to mold. I knew the basement just couldn't be a possibility.
When we found out there was mold growing on the drywall, we ended up having to rip out all the finishing work. We had to rip out the drywall and all of the studs. It was just a nightmare.
Like me, the kids have bad allergies and are really affected by mold, so we didn't want to risk going through the same trouble all over again.
So Mark and Liz called on Total Basement Finishing to help them transform their basement.
But then we went to a home and garden show and found out about Total Basement Finishing. Their products aren't affected by moisture at all. So we started to think that maybe we really could finish the basement.
When Larry came out and went through the process of designing our room, we were able to pick out the trims, the flooring, lighting, even the ceiling we liked. We were able to design the basement space that worked for our family. It was comforting knowing that Larry listened to our concerns and that we were involved throughout the whole process.
Once Total Basement Finishing started to work on our basement, the room came together so fast. Within a couple of weeks, we were already moving furniture down there. And the kids, they were so excited to have their new room. They never wanted to leave it. It's been great.
It has. We love it. When we first walked downstairs, we just couldn't believe the difference. It was like night and day.
You really can't tell you're in the basement anymore. The room feels just like the living room or any other part of the house. And with the kids down there, it frees up the space in the rest of the house for Liz and I.
With their allergies, the kids never would have been able to play in the basement before. It was so damp and musty. And now, just last week, we had Mark's birthday party down here. And all his friends were over, and it was great not to have to worry about the kids running all over the house.
Plus the walls are so strong and durable, we don't have to worry at all about the kids damaging them.
Yeah, and the fingerprints wipe right off.
They're really easy to clean, and the walls are virtually dent-proof.
Sometimes we can't even believe we've got this space for the kids to play in. We don't have to worry about cleaning up their toys or anything. They have their own space. It's unbelievable.
So a room for the kids is one use for a finished basement. But what else can you do with all that extra space? A home office is a great way to use the basement, allowing you the comfort and flexibility of working from home.
Well, I'm absolutely thrilled to have my home office right next to where my kids play. I get everything done that I have to, keep an eye on them, and I don't have any worries. It's wonderful.
Looking for a little bit of luxury? What about a home theater? You can entertain friends and have family movie nights with the look and feel of a real cinema right in your own home. The basement is a great place for an entertainment room where the guys can get together and watch the big game.
This room is so perfect. It cleans up so easy, it looks so great, and it's just a super getaway place. And it's right here in our own house.
Normally, you wouldn't think about using the basement as a dining room, but one family did just that.
At the holidays, we were even able to have the family over for Thanksgiving dinner. In our nice finished basement down here, we created a dining room. We couldn't have done that upstairs. We couldn't have had people over or the kids for a holiday dinner. So this has been a great addition, giving us a lot more room.
And to really maximize all the extra space, the Gibson family added 2 rooms, a family room and a home gym.
We love the TBF system so much, we actually had 2 rooms. One is a little gym, which is something we've always wanted. And the other one
Is this beautiful room that is the largest room in our home.
Do you need more space in your home? Total Basement Finishing can create a beautiful new space in your basement in less than 2 weeks. Make a new family room, playroom, home office, home theater, home gym, in-law apartment, or whatever you need.
Just last week, we had Mark's birthday party down here, and all his friends were over, and it was great not to have to worry about the kids running all over the house.
And with the kids down there, it frees up the space in the rest of the house for Liz and I.
Increase the living space in your home and enjoy your basement like you never thought possible. Free estimates and easy payment plans make your dream room a phone call away. And Total Basement Finishing system uses all moisture and mold-resistant materials, so it will look good in your basement for ages.
What I love about TBF is knowing that we would never have mold on it.
well, if they got wet, they wouldn't get ruined. That was appealing to me. You know, if it ever got wet, it's just easy to clean, it dries out, and I don't have to worry about it.
Call for your free estimate today. 1-800-81-MY-ROOM. Total Basement Finishing. 1-800-81-MY-ROOM. Call today.
So it turns out a great place to look for extra living space might be hiding right under your feet in the basement. And with us today is Larry Janeski, owner of Total Basement Finishing. For the last 20 years, Larry has focused on helping people get more out of their basements. We saw the transformation of Mark and Liz Damagawa's basement, which came out beautiful, by the way. We also heard some of the issues they've faced finishing their basements the first time. What are some of the things a homeowner should look for when deciding to finish their basement?
Well, I'd say the most important thing is to make sure the contractor understands the differences between a basement environment and the rest of the house. You know, so many times we see a basement that someone finished using the same materials they would use in any other room, studs and drywall, and they end up with mold or rot or musty smells. And it's just not an environment you would want to spend time in.
Okay, so a contractor who specifically does basements and using the right materials.
Right, so no wood studs, no drywall, no fiberglass insulation, nothing like that.
Why no fiberglass insulation? Isn't insulation good?
Well, yes and no. Insulation is good, but not fiberglass, not in a basement. See, when fiberglass gets wet or damp, it loses its insulation quality. And even when it's dry, fiberglass can release tiny particles into the air. And walls using fabric-covered fiberglass are soft and they dent easily, and it's almost impossible to hang anything on them, pictures or artwork, let alone something like a flat-screen TV.
Is there anything else we should know?
Well, I'd say another important thing to look for is to see what else the contractor offers besides just the walls themselves. Like, do they offer ceilings and floors and lights and electrical and things like that? You know, it's always easier and ultimately more efficient if you can get everything from one contractor that you trust, rather than having to go to 2 or 3 or more different contractors for different things in order to get a complete finished room. And of course, as always, you want to make sure it's a reputable company that you can trust and that you know will stand by their work. So check with the Better Business Bureau and Angie's List and check up on them.
Right, of course. That makes sense. Well, thank you for talking with us, Larry.
It was my pleasure.
And thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Creating Spaces.